Hello, welcome to 8.9 News. I'm Ffinlo Costain. Farmers in Wales, including on the River Twy and the Usk, are trialling an app that enables farmers to make more informed slurry spreading decisions and to reduce nutrient leaching. I spoke to Neil Nicholas, the Applied Research Coordinator at Coleg Sir Gâr, and I asked him how the Tywydd Twy weather app works.
It works by adding sort of additional weather station sensor capabilities to measure soil temperature, soil moisture, leaf moisture on strategically placed farms within a given river catchment. The chosen farms represent basically typical areas, although all farms within the catchment are able to access the capture data and the recommendations provided through an online portal or phone app. The front end sort of interface is where the data is displayed very simply in a traffic light format. Red being consider your actions, and green is good to go.
How's the data for the app being gathered? Is it through probes in the soil? How does it work?
Yeah, there are a number. You have your regular weather station sort of sensors, your rainfall, your wind speed, your wind direction, your barometric pressure, your solar gain. But we've also got these additional ground-based sort of sensors as well, which are critical really for particularly for nutrient applications. So the data from the stations is gathered via cellular telemetry to a central database, where it's analysed and displayed on the portal or the app. And farmers can base their nutrient management or pesticide application decisions around the information that they receive.
Now, the app isn't available yet nationwide, so where is it active geographically and how can farmers access it?
Currently, it's only available on the 4 SAC rivers, so special areas of conservation rivers in South Wales, as part of the NRW, National Resources Wales 4 Rivers for Life project. And there are 6 awaiting installation on the River Nith catchment in Ayrshire. But further commercial activity could see many more sort of weather stations installed wherever and whenever required, really. And the app is available on app.agricultureresearch.wales.
Now, as you mentioned earlier, the app's currently being used to research whether a more dynamic system, which green light spreading when weather and ground conditions allow, could be used instead of a closed period for slurry spreading. Why would this be better than the current system?
So we see the current system as being quite a blunt instrument in the way that it sort of manages nutrient application timings, and we would much prefer to see legislators move towards a data not date type system. The database system allows timings of nutrient applications when the growing conditions are right, and the crop can actually take up nutrients most effectively, regardless really of the time of year. It also tells you when the likelihood that applying nutrients during unfavorable conditions would only mean an increased chance of the nutrients being washed away and not utilized by the crop, both sort of increasing the risk of surface and groundwater contamination, and also possibly increasing in organic fertilizer use.
Are there particular problems that are created by the current closed season system?
Well, there are some sort of initial problems which spring to mind immediately, and one of those is as we move from the closed period into an open period. In Wales, it's the 15th of January, when most of the slurry stores are full to the brim, and farmers will inevitably on the 15th of January be spreading slurry on land, regardless of what the weather conditions are telling them. So we've seen this with the weather station that we have on the farm in Gelliair in Coleg Sir Gâr, whereby a couple of years ago we went from a closed period into the open period. That week we had, a week of heavy rainfall, but yet again we know that farmers were out applying nutrients to land.
And what's the research been telling you so far?
Firstly, I mean, the farmers, the technology is only as useful as long as the farmers are willing to use it. But we see sort of that there is definitely a scope to use the technology for making sort of informed nutrient management decisions. And the data indicates that even during sort of closed periods, there are times when the conditions are favourable and the ground can actually accept slurry applications.
Are there plans to develop the app further and ultimately to make it available in more catchments?
Yeah, definitely. Sort of the app in its current form, it has an easy to use sort of interface, but we are looking to add new features when funding becomes available. This might include making the app available on both mainstream app stores, for example, to make it easier to download, and upgrades we would hope to sort of make would involve perhaps push notifications, for example, which would allow messaging between perhaps the regulator, the admin and the farmer through the app, and a page then also maybe on risk mapping guidance, something our partners are really keen to explore.
Now, this has obviously been developed for academic research. Are you hoping that the app will be picked up commercially?
Well, it's already commercial in the way that the weather stations that are due to be installed in Ayrshire, that's commercial activity. So working in collaboration with the SRUC in Scotland and two milk processors, we're due to install 6 weather stations. So already it's moving away from the initial sort of project stage and becoming more commercial. So anybody can install a weather station at any time.
That was Neil Nicholas from Coleg Sir Gâr. More news on our website 8.9.com. That's all for now. We're back soon. Thanks for watching.